y'all hear me?
Recording in progress.
All right, it's still going to day, God.
Mvhayv,
We
we don't have you.
can't see you.
Okay, why can't they see me? Okay, hang on a minute.
Here. And then,
Share screen.
oh, no, start video.
Whoop. How about me? How about now?
We got you.
All right, so Amy is still going to day, God.
Stongeshos.
All right.
Jenda?
Jane, don't go on a joke days. I went through the night, okay. Okay, Jane and Amy. It's still going joke day gaga. Hear the difference? I was talking to Amy at first, and then I talked to both y'all, but the word changed, right? It changed from joke to joke gaga. Did y'all make it through the night? Okay. All right. Here we go. We're going to. Do I need to minimize this or exit?
Just to get to your stuff.
Yeah.
I would just click over there, right there.
Right there. Okay, here we go. See, there it is right there.
Here, you can share it. So right there. Oh, go ahead and get out of that. Okay, now screen share. There you go. There it is, right there.
Right.
Right, picture, yeah.
Got it?
And then share. Right here.
Can y'all see that? Okay, so here we go. All right. Remember last week we did vocabulary, okay? So it's kind of a
Here, baby.
do we need to go over this one?
Here, look. You can wave to her.
So see, there's that. This is a pencil. Here, remember we was doing here or ya and ma. Ya is this, ma is that. And you can use that with anything like ma ifa, that dog. Ya ifa, this dog. Ma hokti, that girl. Ya hokti, this girl. You can do add anything to that ma and ya, long as it goes with this and that, okay? So like, and this mutt, okay? I'm gonna just go kind of touch on this. Mutt is that, okay? So like mutt ifados, that is a dog. So that's, I use that quite a bit with my grandkids. They'll say, and I'll say, ifa. Mutt, that is a dog. Mutt, ifados. Mutt, posidos. Mutt, okay, now get this. We're doing animals, but I'll say that is a dog, that is a cat. Then I'll say, mutt, bajidos. Baji is grass. See how I went from that dog, that cat to that grass, because I'm trying to teach them not the word mutt, but they'll get used to saying, oh, she's saying that dog, that cat, that grass. Mutt irodos, because I'm saying mutt ifados, mutt posidos, mutt bajidos, mutt irodos. So what I'm doing here is if you get this, and this is what you can practice on too, is saying that is a dog, that is a cat, that is grass, that is a tree. So I point at it, see, and I'll say mutt ifados, mutt posidos, mutt bajidos, mutt idodos. See how I'm going with this? That's how I use this mutt, because they're getting it. They're getting that mutt. They may not know that it means that, but they're saying, okay, in their own sense of thinking, especially the oldest one, she'll say, oh, that's a dog, that's a cat, that's grass, that's this. That's how I'm going, and this is how you need to use this because, but I also use ma. And I'll say ma boshi. And they're ma boshi, ma ifa. But they also hearing that mut and ma. So y'all need to practice that. Ma is just that, right? But mut is that is. See the difference there? Ma is that cat, ma boshi. But if I say mut boshi dos, that is a cat. See the difference here? That's how ma and mut is the difference. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, boshi dos. This cat, this is a cat. Because dos is it. Yeah, boshi dos. And then I'll say, yeah, boshi. This cat. Does that make sense to you? So I'll say, this, yet dos. This is a cat. And I'll say, yet dos. This is a dog. Yet dos. Yet dos. But then I'll say, yeah, boshi. Yeah, ifa. Yeah, bahi. Yeah, ido. So, and I'll add small words like, yeah, bahilani dos. This grass is green. See? That's how I'm using it with them, and that's how you can tell. Can y'all get that? Did y'all get that? How I'm doing this? All right, that's what y'all need to use. Ma, ya, yet, mut. Okay, just adding that T to ma changes that. So this is why we're going through this, okay? Okay, here we go with this. Here. Here is this one, I guess you could say, here. So if you say, jogados, here, jogados, this is a book, but I'll say, here, orsidos. This is a cat. Like they don't know it, but they know. But they're getting this mut, yeah, yet.
See your practice.
Yeah, so I'll say yet. Yet. So then I'll get, even in a house, I'll get a book here, and they have a puppy, so I'll get their little pet. And I'll say, Hiet Jogados. This is a book. Yet Ifados. Yeah. See that difference? Hiet, this is a book. Yet Ifados. This is a book. This is a dog. Yeah, it's the same thing. And I'll say, yeah. Ifa Wokidos. I'm saying the dog barks. So see, this is how I'm using it with them, and they're getting it. Even the little ones getting it. And one day, you know, like I said, it's at the table most of the time, and sometimes when we're just sitting around at night, it'll just come into my head, and I'll just start saying things to them, and they know. They'll start looking at me, and they know, you know. So it don't have to be every day. I don't do it every day because I'm not with them every day. But sometimes, you know, they'll be asleep, and sometimes they'll take naps, and sometimes I'll be doing something else that I won't have time. But if we're just
Oh, wait, you turned it off.
I'll just use short words with them. And that makes that, you know, they start and they'll sit there and listen to me. So I'll say, even when we're eating, I say, yet, balagnados. And I say, yeah, hakuchi. I say, yeah, balagnados. This is a plate. This is spoon. This spoon. This spoon. And I'll add little words. Yeah, Yet balakna dos, this is a plate. Yet hakuji, this spoon. So they're getting this all together, and it might be, and okay, the other day, we had red beans, and we had what you call flatbread. We call it cowboy bread. And I said, yet dalak chadidos. This is red beans. Then I said, yeah, dalek sakmoski. Hey, yidos. So I said, this is red beans, but I said, this fried bread is hot. See how that went? Because I went, yeah. Dalek sakmoski. Dalek sakmoski is a descriptive word. Dalek is short for dalegi, and sakmoski means fried. So I said, it is fried, it's hot. So see, they got the difference between, yeah, dalak chadi, this red beans, yet dalak chadidos. I said, this is red beans. And then I said, yeah, dalek sakmoski, heidos. This fried bread is. See, okay, are y'all following me on that? And I'll say, here dalak chadidos. This is red beans. Here, listen now. Here, dalak chadidos. This is red beans. Here, dalek sakmoskidos. This is fried bread. Okay, so yesterday, my daughter does a catering business. So Easter Sunday, she had a catering business. She had her catering going. So I told my kids to say prayer in Mvskoke, and they did. And it's a very short prayer. They said prayer, and I'm going to tell you, some of the people were there, especially our kin folks that was there. They were like, and they were so happy, and they're my uncle's kids, and which my uncle lost a daughter, lost his oldest daughter, and they buried her, and this is the youngest one. And she was like, oh, she couldn't believe it. She could not believe it. And once in a while, I'll ask them, because anytime I'm going to say prayer, I'm asked to do prayers a lot. So when I go say prayer, they'll come up with me. They want to stand right next to me. So I'll tell them, I said, and I'll tell the people, I'll say, you know what? I want my grandkids to say prayer today. And I said, I want everybody to repeat after them. And so they'll say it where they can repeat, people can repeat, because they're teaching too. They're going to follow my footsteps one of these days. And so, and I'll put that on there, but it's a very short prayer that kids, that we taught our little kids, and it's called, it says, Boski, Halwi, Legitska. Mojanetta, Hombigo Momget, Mado, Chigezis. And that's just saying, our Father in heaven, before we eat, we want to say thank you. So it's just short. And these kids, my grandkids learned it, and there's two of them. Well, now one's too cool, I think, to do it. She's grown. She's 12, and the other two, boy, they'll race up and they'll say, Becky, you want to say prayer? Well, they asked me to say prayer that day. And I said, okay. And then, my two grandkids went up with me. And I said, they're going to say the prayer. But once they got through saying, then I added to it, and they know. So they said their little prayer, and so I talked right after they did. And they just stood there, with their heads bowed, because they knew we wasn't done yet. But these two kids, and this is how I talk to them, okay? And that's how you need to learn. You say this and that. Instead of saying this book or that book, say, yeah, ma. Even if it's to yourself, And so it's a learning process for them, but they're getting, and you know, the one thing that I found out about my grandkids, they got the tone. They have the tone right off. I don't have to teach them tone because they got it. And the little boy will say anything that I say exactly the way I do. So one day he was messing with something on table, and I said, "Juegas." And I said that, so he goes, "Juegas," with the same tone, with the same. In fact, our manager was telling me that her grandson knows that language app and said he can talk just like the person that's speaking on it. So they speak just like you. And so they have the tone and everything. And so that's how I'm teaching mine. So if they're outside throwing a ball, I'll get over there and I'll say, "Boko, ayan juegas." Now listen to that. See, ayan juegas. And I'll put there with my hands out. And the oldest one or even the youngest one says, "Throw her the ball." See, they're learning. And it's by physical action. I'll say, "Boko, ayan juegas." And they'll throw it to me. So I go back out there again, maybe 30 minutes later, and they're still playing. I'll say, "Boko, ayan juegas," and I don't even put my hands out. They'll throw it. So see how this is, I do physical response with them. So with your grandkids, you can do physical response, or your kids, physical response. Okay, now this is how I'm using this, so this is how y'all need to use it right here. See how this here, jogados, here, jogados. See, this is what I'm doing right now. Okay, here, this and this, here, joga, or here, jogadoa. Is this a book? So I do that too, guys. So this is what y'all need. Here, oros. Here, oros. Here, odoa. Coffee. Here, oros. This is water. Here, odoa. Is this water? Monks, coffee dos. Okay, you just learned a phrase. Here, odoa. Is this water? Monks? No. Here, coffee door. Here, coffee dos. This is coffee. See, you're asking a question, but you're using door. It's almost like dos. Okay? Anybody have a question? Are y'all lost on this? My kids are my guinea pigs a lot of times. But they're learning as guinea pigs. So, and you know, we all, as a family, it's my daughter's, she works as a pharmacist, so she's gone when they came back from school, so my husband keeps them. Well, he comes back from work early to keep the grandkids, and then I'll get there. So, and usually I have something prepared, and my husband will have it ready when I get home sometimes. So I'll even, and we make them sit at the table, we turn the TVs off, they're not allowed to have their phones or nothing. That's our time, you know, and that oldest one will try because she's 12, and she'll have it between her legs on the chair looking down, so I know she's doing something, and I'll say, something, she's not even listening, I'll say, Margus, say it. She'll say, and her little sister be sitting by her elbow. Margus Kaylee. And she'll say, what? See, she's not listening. Because she's got her head. And then her grandpa will say, give me that. and she'll go. So she'll hand it over, and then that's when we go into language a lot. I say, Hiet homogedos. Nagidoa. Nagi, remember we studied that, is what? Doa, what is this? That's a Janwa or homogen, whatever it is, I'm lifting up. So I say, Hiet okjanwados. This is salt. What is this? Nagidoa. They'll say homogen. And then they'll get into this. They'll start asking questions. They start going into like, what is this? What is this? What is that? What is this? What is this? How you say this? How would I say this? That's when they really get rolling. Okay. And they do that. We'll sit at the table and I'll say, y'all guys eat, I'll say, homebus. And I said, I said, skifka, you much keep those. It's getting dark. The clock is late and it's getting dark. But and so my husband, will give me this look. I said, I want out of the kitchen. It's gonna be 9:30 before I get out of the kitchen, But he'll give me this look, so we'll sit there. And and the little boy, he'll walk in and he'll stand like this. Kaylee, you stay on that phone too much. See, he's hurt hearing that she's on the phone too much. So, okay, look here. This is Doa. Can y'all remember what Doa is? Can y'all remember what Doa is? Is it? Okay, is it? Because I said, Hiet okjanwados. Nagi Doa, what is this? They say homogen. Okay. So Hiet, mat, yeah. This is, okay. Look here, Bokodoa. Is this a ball? Boko. I can say here, Bokodoa. Is this a ball? See, it's asking questions, guys. Okay. This is another one. They're not, I just ask them, Nugget, listen. Nagi is what? Nugget. So what is that? What is in it? Got the is because I put the T in there. Okay, this is how you do it, guys. So if I say Nagi, but if I say Nugget, what is? Just like it. Am I losing you? Don't get lost here. Anytime you put the it on it, it's Nagi is what? So when you put the D on it, Nagi is what is. Does that make sense to y'all? Is that coming? Don't get lost now. So any questions so far before we go any further? We're going over this, trying to explain to you what putting that D at the end of it. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna get to see there's Doa, but there's also doing. Listen, doing. There's a lot of words that's gonna come with this, and I'm gonna give examples of that too. Look here. Mary Jehojif Gados. My name is Mary. Mary Jehojif Gados. Look here, Mary. My name is. Remember now, when you go back to your pronoun, Ja is something you can't transfer. It belongs to you. It's a possessive pronoun. Okay? Ja is a possessive pronoun. So when you say Mary Jehojif Gadosh, you're saying my, right here, my name, right here, name is Mary. okay? But you gotta put your name first, okay? So. Nagit Hujifkadi. Barnett, Nagit Hujifkadi.
Kalani Chojifkados.
There you go. Okay. Anybody else? Miss Bean, did Nagit Hujifkadi. I'm asking what is your name?
Yeah, Becky Chahojifkados.
Hey, very good. Miss Harnish, Nagit Hujifkadi.
Pam Cholko excuse me, I can't do it. My
That's
tongue
okay.
doesn't work.
Listen to me now. What?
Okay.
Ja. The
Ja.
kid. Ja.
Ja.
Oh.
Ho,
Jif.
Jif.
Gotcha.
ka, os.
There you go. So tell me.
Cha, ho, hifka, dos.
Very good. Very good. See how you break this up. Ja, ho,
I
jif.
sound just like Ella, huh?
Yeah, you do. You know what? You know what? You do. I mean, we all sound alike because you know why? We're speaking Mvskoke. We all sound alike.
Mahaya,
Huh?
in all the years I've been teaching, I don't know how often people have said, they'll say, like some of the upper grade teachers, once they get them into junior high and, like in the upper grades, they'll say, was so-and-so one of your students? And I said, yes. And they said, we thought so. They sound like you. So they knew exactly who my former students were when they got up into the upper grades. And I thought, oh my gosh. But I did teach one class. Well, I used to say it every morning. We had a bus driver that was Mvskoke. And so every morning he would be coming to the office, and we would be going back to our room from the playground. And so we would come around that corner, and there he'd be, and I'd say, "Stongo, Robert." And so one day we were walking along there, and there he was, and I said, "Just don't go, Robert." And he answers me, and next thing I know, the boy behind me, he says, "Just don't go, Robert." And they started talking, they all said it to him, and he stood there and looked at him like, what? But yeah, they learned Creek while they were, when I talked to Robert, so.
Exactly. And well, see, my husband don't speak. He knows words just like the kids do. And he'll say things, or he'll put 4 or 5 words together to me. But see, I don't have no one to speak to other than my kids. So I'll even speak to my husband, and I'll speak to my grandkids, and even to my daughter. And they, my kids, if I, like I said, they could be outside and I'll say something to them, or we can be eating and I'll talk to them, and just anything, And like I'll tell my grandkids, Aglobus is a command because it's got the C at the end, means take a bath. And the little boy, he hates baths. He'd rather be, and I'll say, "You fumby," and fumby means stink. You stink, and he'll say, I'm not fumby." "I'm not fumby," and I'll say, "No, you say I'm not fumby." But you know what he said? He said, "In Mvskoke, that's I not fumby." And I'm like, "Oh, you don't know that." I want to say that too, but that's I'm thinking that, but I'll say, okay, but all of us. So he argues with men. So me and him has some good arguments once in a while. And I'm gonna tell you a little story. I was teaching immersion one day, and there was a little kid, he was 3 I had in my class. And I said, Loja is a turtle. He goes, boy. I said, Loja. He goes, total. Because he was wanting in English and I wouldn't let him, you know. He said, I said, Loja. He goes, total. And he goes, total. And I said, Loja. He goes, total. And I said, Loja. And me and him, and he gave me this mean look, you know, like, turtle, you know, and I look at him and I say, Loja. And he just kept, and then he never would say Loja. Never could. He never would say Loja. But he'd say total. But any other word, he said it, but he refused to say Loja. And I don't know why. Till this day, I wonder why he wouldn't say Loja. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Remember we went through monks. Okay. We went through monks. Monks is no. It says chogadoa. Chogados. Is this paper? Yes, it's paper. Means yes, paper, choga, dos is. Yes, it is paper. Mahonan wadoa, mahonan what? Oa, or you can say mahonan wadoa. Is that a man or a female or male? You know. And you say honan wados. It is a male or whatever gender. Look here, Anhisiboki Chadoa. Anhisiboki Chadoa. Is my friend a ball player? And that's another one I use because I got 3 of them that play ball. So I say Bokicha. Donchis. Listen. Bokicha. Donchis. Donchis is a different one. Oh, here you go. Mahoktian hisi. O Mvskoke bonaga o famagas. Magribos bonaga gifabos moves the magas. Very good. Thor. See? There you go. Good job. And you know, this is what it is. Now look at, I want everybody to look at his, can everybody see his message? Can y'all see his message? Look at Mvskoke. Right now we spell it M-A-C-K-O-K-E, Mvskoke. But look at this one. This is M-A-C-K-O-K-E. That's old language. They used to say Mvskoke. Mvskoke. Now they say Mvskoke. Listen now. Mvskoke and Mvskoke. My grandmother used to say Mvskoke. Mvskoke. I didn't know. Uh-huh.
I was just going to say that that's how I learned it. Mvskoke always.
Yep. That's how my grandmother used to say it, Mvskoke. They didn't say Mvskoke. They said Mvskoke. And that's how I learned it too. But then when I started working here, they started pronouncing it Mvskoke and spelling it that way. So I just went with that, but way back. And that's how the old books are written too. Mvskoke. Mvskoke. So Thor, you did real good. Where'd you get that word?
Old books.
Yeah.
Julie.
Ajulagit. Ajoga, ajulagit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ajulagi.
But Becky,
Huh?
but when we say that V sound, isn't that supposed to be an A sound? Ma, like if you're saying MV.
The is Mvskoke. But mus is the V. The sound is V. Mus.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that. I mean,
That's what's confusing me then, because when I had always said Mvskoke, and So I will remember to teach my fellow Creeks that word again, because they're wanting to say you, Muskoge, and I'll,
You know that I still have trouble with that now, and so does my coworkers. The and ah, that's confusing to us. And I'll say, what do you hear? Because sometimes I can't hear because enunciation is different sometimes, how we were taught.
Mhm.
So it took me a long time to say Muskoge. Hear that? Muskoge instead of Mashkoge. Because you can hear that ma, because that ah sounds in there, and ma, that sound. It's still
Jane, Mvhayv, answering Jane's question, that's just the way we were taught when when I was a child, but that's the way my grandmother, and like she said, her grandmother says it, the same thing too. It's Muskoge. It's just pronounced, it was pronounced that way.
yeah, and
So it's an old Creek word.
it's old. That's how all the old books are written too, Mashkoge. Okay, word it, Mashkoge. Okay, you need the E right here. Me, hear that ma, siki, e, Mashkoge. So I don't, that's how they just said it back then. Mvskoke, and who knows we could be pronouncing it wrong. We don't know, but we say Muskoge because all the old records that I've seen spell Mvskoke. Just the way you did, Thor. Just the way you did, Mvskoke. See, did we, remember evolvement? We might have evolved. Who knows? Maybe somebody mispronouncing this stuff. I don't know.
I'll just tell them that my aunt who spoke, she didn't have teeth. When she spoke, she wasn't able to pronounce things crisp. So
Yeah.
we learned from her.
Yeah, and that has a difference, having teeth. But now most of my family, of course, they didn't believe in doctors or dentists. They didn't get that care, like we do now. And so, most of them, but I really understood my grandmother and her sister and her brothers and stuff when they spoke. Okay, here. Anhisibuki Chadoa is my friend about there. And that's what I asked mine. I'll say, don't just, aren't you? Are you a ball player or are you a ball player? You see the difference? Okicha, don't ya? Are you a ball player? Now listen, don't ya? I'll have to explain that. That's coming up here soon because see how these words are, guys?
Mvhayv. Ehe bukita doa sandad.
There you go. She said, yes, I am a ball player. So see, they haven't learned that yet, but they'll not, they'll say, and my little grandson, he's got that, he'll say, homeworks, grandma? Because, when I'm putting him on table, he'll say, homeworks, grandma? He's saying, eat, grandma? And I'll say, yeah. And boy, he'll run around the house. He loves that. Homework, now listen to the tone. Homework, homework, y'all eat. See, he's putting expression to it. Homework, homework, he'll run around. And that day we was at this is a community center. We're part of a little Indian community center. So he'll go around saying that, And so when he goes to his cousins, he'll say, and that's exactly what his tone is. Next time I'll record him and I'll bring the kids too when they're saying their prayer. I'll record him, possibly tonight, and I'll bring it and let y'all listen to it and him say, okay, here we got this in Doa. What is? Okay, look here, all these words now. A dog is ifa, y'all know that. Cat is forsi. Duck, fojo, fojo. Horse, takko. Cow, waga. Goat, chowada. Turkey, binwa. A pig or a hog, fokha. Chicken, dolosi. Goose, sasakwa. Sheep, yabifega. Tame animal, awiga. Okay, look here, we done went over this, and what? What is nagi? What questions? Another question requiring the sentence ends in ah. Okay. Look here, we went over this, and Pia ishojechka dos. This is a pen. Pia nagidoa. What is this? See, that's how I do it. Pia nagidoa. That's how I go. Okay. I'll say Pia or yaposhi. Ba ifa. Ya ido. Yabahi. This dog, this cat, this grass, this, anything that you can use, this cow, yawaga, that cow, mahwaga, hiet wagados, this is a cow, okay, mut wagados, that is a cow. Okay, anybody confused here?
I just need to practice.
Yeah, it's just practicing, you know, it's just practicing using, and you know, my you know, and I don't never question my grandkids, but they never ask, you say ma and ya, or mut, yet. It's not strange to them, but when I think about it, it's strange to the European speaker. How many knows ma, yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, if you listen, you say, ma, yeah, here, what? And, you know, you know, to them, it's just speaking, but, you know, when you think about it, when I think about it, ma, yeah, mat, it's, you can do a rap song. And it just seems, you know, that these are words in our language. As strange as it may be, it means something, you know, and to them it's just language, but to me, you know, it's like, wow, how can we? So, you know, I'm like, how does that ma? So, I mean, you know, it's just strange to me, you know. So look at language as something like that, you know. Okay. D. There's a short way to owa or owa. Use D, okay? Yuck. Oshidi. Is it a cat? Oshidi. Ifadi. Idodi. Bahidi. What is this? Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it a tree? And I use this a lot, D for short, instead of saying door. But to teach it, I tell my kids, if a door, is it a dog? If a D. See, they're getting both ways. If a door, is it a dog? If a D, is it a dog? Both ways is saying, he said. So, you know, and they'll kind of look at me there, especially this one right here. This one right here. And so, like, well, they went egg hunting the other day, yesterday, and one found a bird egg. And
Surprising.
it wasn't a prize egg, but it was smaller. And I said, Foshwadi, is it a bird egg? I just said, is it a bird? Because see, situation environment, let you know. okay, or dolosity, or is it chicken? Bird or chicken, so situation, and they were kind of stumped on it. Cause they didn't know that was even an egg, cause it wasn't about like this, you know, it was tiny, they didn't even know it was an egg. So I said, chostagi, and I said, foshwade, doloshidowa. See, but they didn't know that was an egg to begin with because it was so tiny. They didn't know it was an egg to begin with, you know. And I kept saying chostagi, but they're used to saying chostagi as a chicken egg, not a bird egg. So they were like questioning that, you know, and it was kind of, and I just kept saying it to them, but they didn't know. They know what a fushwa is. They know what a bird is. But see, they've never seen the egg like that. And you know, as much as they are country children, I can't believe I never showed them a bird egg. You know, they didn't know what that bird egg was, you know.
Now they do.
Now they do, but there's different kinds of bird eggs because there's speckled ones, you know, and stuff like that. So I don't know how they're gonna get through that. Okay. Okay. Hilda, what about this? Murda, what about that? Look now. Hilda, what about this? What about, because da is there. Da is what about. Ifada. Bullshit. So I'm saying, where's the dog? Like we come driving in and we didn't see one of our puppies here about a month ago. I said, Ifada, do we did? What happened to the dog? Ifada, do we did? Okay, Dewey's coming up in another lesson, guys. That's another word, new word. Ifada, do we did? And I don't know if they understood me because we was in a car. And I said, Ifada, they know Ifa. But da, Ifada. And the oldest one said, he probably went out in the woods. I don't know if I used duck with them ever, but she said he's probably out in the woods because we live country people. I live about the town that I live from is about a quarter of a mile from town, if you can call it a town. It's got a post office, a nutrition, very strong, very small nutrition center, and a school. And the nutrition center might feed 13 people a day, maybe 10. And then the school, you know, we could fit in one room. And that's how I started school, in a one-room school. You know, and so, you know, that's all it is. And I live quarter of a mile from that, out in, I live by a highway, but you know, I'm out in the woods. And but I lived way out in the boonies when I was growing up. You know, I lived out, and my husband's city. So he calls me Hannah Homegrown. Because
You shouldn't say, I'm just native.
yeah, and you know, he lived in town, so you know, he could not believe, but he loves it out there because we moved out there after we got married and everything, and he loves it, but he calls me Hannah Homegrown. So I am, you know. So this, look here we go.
Mvhayv, what is a nutrition center?
It's right there in the mid for Hannah. Now that's the county nutrition center. It's right in town. That's the only building with lights.
Oh, bless. I lived in places like that.
They
What is
feed
it?
people, you know, through funds that they get. They feed people, you know, they feed the elderly, you know. And we
Nice.
have a Creek Nation, we have a Mvskoke Nation elderly that feeds anybody from 55 and over for, you know, for free, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, we have these programs. We're very lucky that the Mvskoke Nation has these programs. And my husband eats at those nutrition centers. He couldn't wait till he got 55. Now he's in his 60s. So he's been a customer for a while.
That's amazing. I love that. Thank you.
We're a lot better off than a lot of, we got a lot of programs. We have medical, because I remember when I was growing up, we didn't have medical. All we had was either Choctaw and Tahlequah, and that's where we had to go until Mvskoke Nation got theirs, and we started going to doctors to, I was born in the Cherokee Hospital. So, we didn't have that. Okay, look here we go. This is what we're teaching. Mada, what about that? Okay, look here. Hia nagidoa. Hia nagidoa. It says hia nagidoa. What is this? Hia nagidoa. Hear this sound? Ihe wagados. Wagados. It's saying, what is this? And it's saying it's a cow. Yes, it's a cow. See? It's look here. It's just learning these words and putting them together. Okay. Dolosidos. Dolosidos. Dolosi is a chicken. Remember that. Dolosi. So, you can do anything with a dolosi. You have dolos shakpologi, dolos shakmoski, dolos hodopki. Okay. Dolos shakpologi is chicken and dumplings. Dolos shakmoski is fried chicken. Dolos hodopki, baked chicken. See, okay, this is where, see how many words, see what you can do with chicken. You can cook it. You can fry it, you can bake it, you can make dumplings out of it, you can bake it. Any one of those. So this one chicken, this word, dolosi, you can add anything, and that's going through your dictionary and looking at different words. This is where self-study comes in. Self-study. You can do anything with a chicken. You can kill it. Dolos ili, the chicken. Dolos lijas, that would be a command. And my grandma used to keep chickens in a pen. And when we was gonna have it, she'd keep it, I guess she just fed it something, not out in the woods, but she would pin it up and we'd have chicken and dumplings. And Lord, I didn't know that's where the chicken came from. Because she told us something got to chicken, and I didn't know it was us. She didn't tell us we killed it, she told us something got to chicken.
You're eating Bobby.
You're eating Bobby. You can do anything with this, guys. This is what Amy's and this is how to put this language together, guys. This is all you do. You can do anything with a pig. Now, pig meat, like pork chops, ribs, you don't have a word for pork chops, but you do for ribs, indala. Socha indala. You can, socha indala shalmoski. Fried ribs, socha pig, fried pig ribs. Socha indala moski. Moski, I forgot Dolos moski. Dolos moski is boiled chicken. You can do anything with this. And this is just what you want to do with it, okay? And self-study. Self-studying, guys. That's all it is. Okay, now we're going to go through colors here. Chadi is red. Holati is blue. Lani is yellow. Hatti is white. Lusty is black. Lani, let's study Lani here. Lani was green, yellow, and brown. We did not have all this other colors that they teach now, but they thought it would be easier for a new learner. But Lonnie was situation and environment. They say, Bahilani dos. If it's in August down this way, you know Bahilani means what? Yellow. Or brown. But in springtime, if it said, Bahilano shidos, the grass is really green. Lano shi means just really, really green. You knew it's springtime, it was green. So this Lani had different ways of, and that was situation and environment, okay? Environment. Jadi is red. A lot of people mispronounce this word. They'll say holadi. Holadi. It ain't, it's holat. You have those two consonants. You got to pronounce both of them. Holati. And that first consonant, T, is right. Your tongue is on top of your palate. Holati. Holati. Okay. Any questions on this? And I'm just going back over what we studied.
I was gonna, Maya, I was just gonna say, move that page up a little because we were missing part of it, or I couldn't see part of it.
Right
You
here?
know, when you were saying the color words,
Okay, right there.
right in here. Yeah, yeah.
So
We
red-
couldn't see it earlier, you know,
Oh, yes,
when you said Lanny.
So Jadi is red. Holati is blue. Yellow is Lani. White is Hutki. Black is Lusty. Now we have sacred colors too. We have sacred colors and we just have colors. So like this right here, like pink, the color pink, we said, oh, Jadoshi, just a little bit red. Or Jadi Okhatkoshi. Red with a little bit of white in it. That's how we spoke. And fabric, you know, this is where we learned colors was for fabric because they sewed our clothes. Hunnahaga. Hunnahaga, that's a descriptive word for fabric. Hunnahaga means dressmaker, something to make a dress out of. Hunnahaga is fabric, or, you know, and you know, my mom used to make my grandma's clothes all the time because her clothes were different. She always wore a skirt, and the shirt, the blouse was long sleeve with a collar, round collar. Just around, and I'll bring pictures of that. I'll bring some pictures, but I got my pictures all put up. Yes, Jadashi. There you go. So you know, it was different. So when my daughter ran for princess, I didn't go with this regular. I went by my and there was no pattern, and you didn't have buttons on it. It was just it's pinned. It's pinned. They use a safety pin to pin it. And the shirts didn't have buttons. They used pins. So my daughter, she wore the original, and my mom made that. And the round collar here, it had a round collar. You know, and so I'll bring a picture. In fact, I'll try to find pictures of my grandmother and you will know where I really come from. Okay. Dos. Dos is. Jadi dos. Here joka jadi dos. This book is red because he is there. Okay. Okay. Anybody can.
Maya,
Uh-huh.
when I was young, my father would say that someone was Stajati,
Mhm.
Stehetki,
Uh-huh.
Stelesti. What
Mhm.
does, and it meant that person, it was a person's color, I guess.
Exactly. It was descriptive. So when you say, okay, Sti is short for Isti. Isti is a person. Jadi means a red person. Isti Hetki, which they say Hetki instead of Hutki, is a white person. And Isti Lusty is a black person. So see, our language wasn't as harsh. It was just descriptive. And if you look at that, we never had, istijadi, istiheti, istilasti. It was descriptive. But we didn't have European words for things that, like they do now. And that's why I say our language wasn't as harsh as some, so. Look here was what we was going over. Short way. Is that book white? Majoga hakiroa. Is that book white? See, this is Hiajoga Jadidos. That's what I was going through my grandkids. Hiapahidos. Ifados. That's what I was going through them with right here. This is the example right here that I was telling you. Okay. So y'all learning new words and y'all's learning colors so far. Y'all's learning all kinds of little things here. Y'all's learning colors. Y'all's learning what a pen is. Ischotechka. Ischotechka is a pen, pencil. Da. What's this? What about this? Da is what about. Now listen to that. What about this? If I come to Desiree here and say, what about this? It seems like a long way, but what if I said Nagi? Yada. Two little short words, yada. See how we're really short to the blunt. We're blunt. Okay. We got Hasiskika, Hasiskikoji. Little clock, remember, Uji. Hasiskikoji Hokola. Amahoskidos. I have 2 minutes. Okay, how would I translate to English? Little minutes. Little clock. A little clock, which means minutes. 2 I have left. But it's Hasiskikoji Hokolet Amahoskidos. Now let Hokolet. Not Hokolen, Hokolet. See that difference? See how I pronounce that? We're going to go through all this, guys. We're going to hit this, but I want to go through one more thing. We got 1 minute. Nope, that ain't it. I had that.
What are you looking for?
The count.
I think it's yeah, broke it in. I think that might be it.
Okay, look here. I just got, this is something just to break the monotony. This is a Mvskoke O count. Jagala wakin joe noskin hamama ho soroji na yo hanagalida hanagali kila dafa wakin si jo sok. That's O count. And what y'all need to do is just break this up, okay? Jagala wakin joe noskin hamama ho soroji na yo hangali hanga gilada dafa wakin sijo sok. This is hanga gilada. Hanga gilada dafa wakin sijo sok. And that used to be a some people would do it for a lullaby. Saka's got a tune to it. But this is something extra I want y'all to have. And just break it up. Jagala enjoy nosken hamama ho soloji na o handa kila dakta va wakin si jo sok. Now, see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Really different from what we say now.
Yeah, see how language evolved? Language evolved. That was the first count, and that's Mvskoke O count.
I remember my grandma doing that.
Yeah.
She did it on her fingers.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, but she didn't count like 1, 2, 3. She would count this way and then this way.
Mhm.
So she would start on this side with Hungen,
Mhm.
and then she would do that. and count, and this would be 10. So starting with 1, and this is 10, and then all the numbers in between. But she used to do it like that.
Really, I like to, I wish, see these older people, I wish I had been around or even listened to more.
I should have listened more too.
When you listen more to me, and I just can't believe how much I've probably missed out on, because I got questions now. So it really don't have nowhere to go, but anyway, it's past 2 minutes past 10. So now let's see. Thursday, I think we got, is it tomorrow? We got that thing? Okay, I'll be here Thursday. My Jimbonaya got his. I will talk to y'all again then. Adam Jimbonaya. Let's talk to each other again. Hello, did y'all? I hope y'all this was beneficial today.
Madonna
Absolutely.
Maya.
I'm actually getting it.
I hope y'all it was beneficial, guys, because I don't want to go. I'm just going over it. We'll go over it again. If y'all need to go over it, I don't care. We'll go over it again and again and again. Okay. We get
It's
it?
great. It's great, Mvhayv. I'm actually getting it.
Meadow.
Venga, chigueras. Ito na siya agad. I really have respect for y'all that wants to learn this. I thought we just Ojedos, yeah. He said it agad. Oh, I know. He's a goddess. All right, I'll see ya. Hey. Stop share?
Yeah. And then end. Right here.
Yeah.